Doctor exposes unhealthy health foods. The little-known truth about whole wheat bread. Whole wheat bread is not good for you. In fact, it wasn't until the 1960s, when the so-called health food craze started, that most Americans started eating it.
Tip-top bread, as the baker said, it's tip-top in every way.
You know what else happens around that time? Obesity rates started skyrocketing. But let's back up even further. Let's talk about the first bread humans ate, sourdough. This ancient bread, made through natural fermentation, was not just food, but a nourishing treasure. Why? The fermentation process in sourdough breaks down harmful lectins like gluten, making nutrients more accessible for the body and the bread easier to digest. Modern bread skips this beneficial fermentation process. Instead, it relies on commercial yeast and sugar for a quick rise, completely bypassing the health benefits of traditional sourdough. This means that most of today's healthy breads are less digestible and much more problematic for your health. But the good news is more and more people are getting the wake-up call. The worst health food to eat. So what's changed about corn? Well, many things. First of all, almost all corn in the United States is genetically modified corn, and it actually has a very interesting protein. It's called the cry protein, and I want you to remember that word because I want you to think that every time you eat corn, you should start crying because that protein is totally foreign to what we've ever eaten as corn. But back in the heart of Mesoamerica, corn wasn't just a crop. It was a nutrient powerhouse. The secret, traditional Indian cultures in Mesoamerica knew that corn had to be treated with an alkaline solution like lye or lime, a process called nixtamalization. But here's where it gets interesting. Scientific research is taking us back in time, showing that these ancient methods like nixtamalization were not just about taste, they were about health. What that did was bind some of the bad compounds in corn and remove the hull in corn. And it made niacin available as a vitamin. That's completely absent from the way we treat corn now. Here's the real twist. Most of our corn consumption isn't even corn on the cob. It's high fructose corn syrup, hiding in plain sight in so many of our processed foods. This shift is more than just a culinary change. It's a health hazard. Eating soy is dangerous. True or false? The reason soy is so unhealthy is because it contains lectins, toxic substances that can interfere with our nutrient absorption and digestion. But in Asia, they're really clever with their soy. Soy has been a staple in Asian diets for centuries. But what we've missed in our modern adaptation of soy is that traditionally fermented soy was used, like miso or tempeh, or even soy sauce. And it was used to improve the flavor and improve the health benefits of soy. Now, why did they ferment soy in the first place? Because they recognized that the fermentation of soy changed its health properties. It actually stopped the harmful effects of lectins that were present in soy. And that's why fermentation was the traditional way of handling soy. Now, all bets are off. We use soy in almost everything non-fermented, and that's a big mistake. Soy has found its way into almost every processed food out there. Why? Because soy lecithin or soy isolates can be used in food manufacturing to artificially keep products moist, keep them from clumping, and create a creamy texture. Why not have processed soy? First of all, soybeans are cheap. We forget that soy is used to fatten animals for slaughter. We forget that one of the reasons soy fattens animals for slaughter is because soybeans contain harmful plant proteins like lectins. Those lectins actually cause intestinal permeability that leads to fat storage and weight gain. So if you think we use soy that's non-fermented to fatten animals for slaughter, think what that non-fermented soy is doing to you. It's simple, but this change from a traditionally fermented whole food ingredient to a highly processed additive is doing nothing for our health, especially our gut health. And that's why I think we're seeing this great shift to go back to our roots. Modern research is turning the tables and showing us that maybe, just maybe, our ancestors had it right all along. Stay away from processed soy. Stay away from tofu. Instead, shift to fermented whole food soy. That will impact your gut in the right way.